So I have a feeling this is going to be one of those cards where it's like pretty hard to predict. The UFC Fight Night, Jan versus Figueiredo. So let's just get into it. This is honestly, so many of these fights could go either way, but let's start off with the first fight of the night. We have Mahashate Haisia versus Nicholas Motta. So we got the Chinese Kazakh versus the Brazilian. I'm gonna go with Mahashate here. Nicholas Motta is like, he did beat Tom Nolan. I feel like that was more so just Tom Nolan's aggressiveness biting him in the ass. I think Nolan probably beats Motta most times out of 10, but regardless of me coping, regardless of my copium here, I think Mahashata is the better guy. Like, Mahashata, he beat Steve Garcia, and you see the run Steve Garcia's on at the moment. Like, obviously MMA math doesn't work, but he's a powerful guy, he's a good guy. Probably shouldn't have won his last fight, but regardless, he is coming off a win as well. I'm going to go Mahashate here. He is tall though, which Nicholas Motta does do really good against these taller guys. I don't know, his style, he really does always find the chin of these taller guys. How tall is Motta himself? Yeah, he's 5'9". He always seems to catch these taller guys. But I don't want to bet on him because his chin is really bad as well. This is actually... I'm going to go Mahashate. I just think he's a better skilled fighter than Nicholas Motta. But the height does worry me. Just the fact that Mahashate is tall, his defense isn't the greatest. They're both 2-2. I'm going Mahashate. I'll stick to my guns. But I can just sense the upset. But I'll go Mahashate. It's in a Chinese territory, so he's not going to have to travel too far. Motta has to... I don't know if he lives in America or not, but he's going to have to travel a decent amount. So let's just go with that for the reason, alright? Then we got Long versus Kwang Lee. I'm going to go Kwang Lee. He impressed me against Chris Gutierrez, short notice. But he looked good against a ranked opponent. Obviously, that's not the best way to predict fights. I mean, Basil Hafez, he looked decent against JDM. He didn't, though. He looked shit. But, people are going to say, oh, this is what decision, And then his best performance was against JDM, and then he lost to Mickey Gall and Oben Elliott. So... doing good on short notice against a ranked opponent doesn't always work out, but I'm gonna say that Kwang Lee is actually pretty good for a bantamweight. I mean, he is a bantamweight. Bantamweight's a good division. I think he's a pretty good guy. Like, I think he's a good fighter. Long, I like Kwang Lee. Kwang Lee's fighting in the American scene. I know he represents Vietnam. He is Vietnamese. He represents Vietnam, but Kwang Lee is an American prospect. He lives in America. He fights out of America. He trains at an American gym against American competition. I like that more than the Chinese competition Long's fighting, so I'm going to go Kwang Lee to win this one. Then we have Lona Kavanagh versus Jose Ochoa. He's a shootbox guy. There are a lot of Peruvians out of shootbox, which is pretty interesting. Obviously, there was... I can't actually remember his name off the top of my head, but there is that Peruvian welterweight. He moved down. He just fought Jai Herbert. He should have beat Chaos Williams. He also fought Son Kanan. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But I'm going to go Lona Kavanagh here. He is a very good prospect. Both of these guys are 7-0, but there is levels to being 7-0. And I just rate the competition of Lona Kavanagh much more. 5-0 is good, but then 4-4, 2-3, 2-0, 0-1. Then you look at Lona Kavanagh's just starching guys, starching. Let's say name unknown. It literally says name unknown. That is insane. How is the... That is crazy. Sorry, I'm completely gone off topic here, but that is crazy. This guy fought a guy literally... Did they just not have papers for the guy? Did he just show up and, alright, you come in, you fight? And he's like, I'm not telling you my name. But regardless, level of competition, Lona Kavanagh. The skill from Lona Kavanagh, he is a very good flyweight. He's powerful. He got a flatline KO on Dunaway Contender Series. He was killing it in Cage Warriors, 6-0. And Antu Antanho isn't a bad prospect in his own right. Then he beat a 6-0 guy before that, 4-0, 1-0, 6-10. You know, a bit sus, but 4-0, 5-1. These are all draws. I think these probably had like a decision thing where like if you go to a decision, there's an automatic draw. He's only lost in the amateurs. He was actually 0-2 at one point. Now to see where he is, he's a very good fighter. He's very powerful. I expect this to be a war. If he's, you know, Jose's probably got that shoot box move forward, Daniel Silva / Charles Oliveira type style. I'm gonna go Leonard Kavanagh here. Then we got Zhu Young Yu versus Balagian Jensolu. If I remember, Jensolu is very good. I think he fought on the road to UFC last year. He did. He didn't. I don't know. I did watch the road to UFC, but I have to just go for these guys' records to just like jog my memory a little bit. Okay, I don't remember either of these guys. This is really bad. I don't know who to go for here, but I guess I'll go with the Chinese fighter. You know, the Chinese scene's booming right now to an extent compared to the Korean scene. You know, I guess I'll go Balagian Jensolu. Now, this is a fight I know quite a lot about. I do remember both these guys. Kuru Sahoto, the Indian, English Indian, or he could even be Pakistan. I think he is Indian though, Indian ancestry, versus Dong Hoon Choi. Now Choi is undefeated, but he hasn't impressed me. Both of his wins were split decision. He clearly beat Angad Biscuit. Like, I won't lie, he clearly won that, but he didn't, in my opinion, he shouldn't have beat this guy. Like, I didn't think he beat this guy, personally. But I just haven't been impressed. And Sahota is just a big guy for the weight class. He's really tall, very long rangey guy. Sort of fights like Leon Edwards from Wish, or probably Jai Herbert from Wish is probably a better example. Like 73-inch reach, 5'10" at flyweight is crazy. He's very malnourished. But like, he's a pretty decent guy. He's had some pretty good performances against these guys. Like, he's clearly won. Like, that's a split decision, but I'm pretty sure it's a pretty clear win. Like, neither of these guys are going to do anything too great in the flyweight division. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. You know, they can make improvements, but I'm going to go with Sahota. You know, he's English. He's fighting out of the English scene. Yeah, he's lost 2 fights, but he's also fighting pretty good level of competition over at Cage Warriors. So I'll go with Sahota. Then we got Feng versus Shi. I'll go Feng. Let's just go Feng, alright. Then we have Carlos Hernandez. Oh, let's try and get the full pronunciation. Naim Jagal Tumadembirel. Okay, so Tumadembirel is a pretty decent guy. Like, he's fought on the road to UFC twice. He's got a lot of pretty flashy KOs. Carlos Hernandez, he hasn't had a good run of things. Let's just be honest. You know, got knocked out by Tatsu Taira, which I don't rate a knockout loss to Tatsu Taira. If he got subbed, fair enough, I'd rate it, you know. But getting chinned by Tatsu Taira is pretty sus, because Taira's striking isn't there, in my opinion. Especially his defense, but his offense is, you know, I guess it's decent, but he also got subbed by Nascimento, but Alan Nascimento is just massive. He shouldn't be at that weight class at all. Like, he's probably one of the bigger flyweights you'll see. And then he got dominated by Ray Tazura. I will go Tumademagrel here. Tumademagrel. I did get his name right the first time. You guys know that. So, like, just give me some credit there. But he got a submission. But he is a striker, typically. And that Peter Daniso, I think that guy was like the Thai Viking or something like that, wasn't it his name? The Asian Viking, well, he was Thai, but you know, that guy wasn't too bad. He's also rebounded as well. He's coming off a win now. But yeah, this guy's pretty good. He's pretty decent. Not saying he'll go on to like achieve anything too great in the flyweight division, but he's had some good performances. Good striker, good grappler. Maybe I'm confusing him with like another guy with the striking aspect, but he's definitely like got some power. He's a good grappler. I think he'll win here. So we'll go with the Mongolian to get this one done. Then we have Volkan Oezdemir versus Carlos Ulberg. Now I would honestly go Carlos Ulberg all day here, but there is a part of me where it's like, this guy literally admitted his fucking toe broke. Like, he admitted he broke his toe, but I'm gonna fight anyway. That is crazy. Why would you admit that? Like, we're going to have Volkan Oezdemir come out here like Prime Usman, be fucking stomping on the toes. But I will still go Carlos Ulberg. You know, Volkan Oezdemir is looking decent nowadays. Like, he's coming off some wins. I think Paul Craig... No, he lost after the Paul Craig fight to Nikita Krylov. But then he beat Bogdan Guskov and he beat Johnny Walker. You know, at this point, who hasn't knocked out Johnny Walker? Interesting fight. I like Carlos Ulberg here a lot, though. I like Carlos Ulberg in this fight. Big athletic guy. He's looking very good. He's made some rapid improvements. He's got a decent grappling game as well that he doesn't really showcase too much. Big reach. He's younger, but only by a year. Only a year. So, you know, nothing significant. This is light heavyweight. You can afford to be a bit older. But he's just a big, athletic, powerful guy. Very technical. I think the leg kicks will be big here against Volkan Oezdemir. I will go Carlos Ulberg, but there is a part of me where it's like, his toe is literally broken. But we did see Alex Pereira just absolutely fucking decimate Yuri Prohaska with a broken foot. Broken toe, sorry. So I guess anything's possible. Then we have Kong Wang versus Gabriel Fernandez. I'm a big fan of Kong Wang. I'm a big fan of the Wang. But no, honestly, I like Kong Wang here. I think she's a very good prospect. She beat Valentina Shevchenko many years ago in kickboxing. She's a good fighter. She's a very good fighter. She's very powerful. And honestly, I don't know too much about Fernandez. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. She lost to Judah Vicious. Okay, I do remember these fights. Yeah, she lost to Teresa Balada, the Czech fighter. And I think everyone was like hyping her up. And then I think Natalia Silva beat Teresa afterwards, if I'm remembering correctly. Oh no, she lost to Natalia Silva, and then so people thought she was like not that good because she lost to Natalia Silva, but people realized that Silva's like she is the female prospect to keep your eye on. But I like Kong Wang here, I really do. I think Kong Wang will win. She's powerful. She's got a different level of violence. I was looking for aggressiveness. Like she's a very powerful woman. She's very good. She looked very good again. She destroyed Victoria Leonardo. She's powerful. She's got she doesn't have many 2 KOs, but she did get a really nice flatline KO. She's a good striker. You know, there's at the bottom there's the decision in 2015, you know, very long time ago, but, you know, we got to take the wins we can get. She has a win over Shevchenko in kickboxing. But yeah, I'm going Kong Wang. Then we got Kenan Song versus Muslim Salikov. Both of these guys are pretty washed, so it's pretty difficult to gauge where they're both at. But I rate Muslim Salikov having a close fight with Santiago Ponzinibbio that he probably should have lost, if we're going to be real. But I rate that more than having a somewhat competitive fight with Ricky Glenn. I mean, Kenan Song did drop Ian Gary, so that will be his highlight for probably the rest of his career. But I'm going to go Muslim Salikov. China love him. He might honestly be more popular in China than Kenan Song. He was a Sanda champion. He's fought a lot in China. He was the king of Kung Fu. Has a lot of experience in China. You know, he's used to fighting here. I think Muslim Salikov's got this one. I think he'll win. I think he'll put a bit of a striking masterclass on Song Kenan. But Kenan can crack. He could definitely hurt Muslim Salikov, but I don't think Song Kenan is a leech level guy where he's just going to go out there and blitz him and knock him out. I'm going to go Muslim Salikov. Then we have Ozzy Diaz versus Thang. Sorry, oh my god, my pronunciations. I apologize to my Chinese friends out there, all my Chinese viewers. But I'm gonna go Zhang here. I reckon he'll beat Aussie Diaz. Aussie Diaz not bad. Like I watched him on the regional on his come up in the LFA. I think it was. Like I watched a few of his fights before he fought Joe Pyfer, and Joe Pyfer just fucking colded him badly, knocked him out, deaded him on the Dana White Contender Series. But Aussie Diaz not like a bad guy, but his chin is a bit sus. He's taken a lot of damage. I mean, Zhang's chin is a bit sus as well, but this guy's powerful. He fights aggressive. I reckon this is going to be a war where either of these guys could win because it's going to be a brawl, but I reckon Zhang will prevail and get the win. Then we have Yan versus Tabitha Ricci. Part of me just wants to pick Tabitha Ricci by decision because she always gets the decisions. I think like most of her wins are split decisions. Okay, Hill wasn't a split, but it could have arguably. Tisha Pennington was a split. She clearly lost to Lupita Godinez, but she still got a split. Like, it is crazy. She gets so many split decisions. But I'm going to go Yan. Yan impressed me against Weili Zhang. Like, come on. If you're having, like, a competitive fight like that with Weili Zhang, I'm sure you can beat Tabitha Ricci. But also, this is women's MMA. It's a confusing... It just boggles the brain. Like, it's literally making me develop CTE right now as I'm talking to you guys, but I reckon Yan has to win this one. Surely, like if all logic makes sense, Yan will beat Tabitha Ricci. Like, come on. Like Tabitha Ricci's boyfriend is Callum Walsh, you know, the Irish boxer, but her hands... Actually, I think her hands looked a bit better last fight, but the striking difference between these two is just crazy. I'm going to go Yan to get this one done. Yan did get TKO'd by Carla Esparza, but she looked very decent against Weili Zhang, so I'm a trust in Yan. Then speaking of Yans, we got Big Brother. Just kidding, they're not related. We got Peter Yan versus Davison Figueiredo. I like Peter Yan to get this one done. Very good boxer. Both these guys are sort of... I guess Davison Figueiredo is not the slowest starter. Peter Yan is a slow starter, so I expect the first round to be pretty crazy because Davison Figueiredo, if he's smart, will just come out Peter Yan and try not to give him an opportunity. But Peter Yan, good takedown defense. People use that Merab fight to say, haha, he's got no takedown defense, he's washed. Merab is doing that to every motherfucker. You put him in that cage against... Merab is just taking them down. Like, he stuffed so many takedowns against Merab that needs to be mentioned. But on the feet, it just isn't competitive. Davison Figueiredo is powerful, don't get me wrong. He's got some power, but Peter Yan is just so much better on the feet, better boxer, more technical. I think it's a bit of a... Not a mismatch, because Figueiredo can crack, but... You know, bantamweight, his power is not as... You know, he's not as powerful as he was at flyweight, obviously. But Peter Yan's also not like a big bantamweight either. Like, Peter Yan's like a... He could make flyweight, I reckon, but... I like Peter Yan in this fight. 5 rounds as well. You know, he's known for being a slow starter, but I reckon in a 5-rounder he will get to make his reads. You know, hopefully he makes them pretty quickly because a lot of his fights, it took him a very long time to get his reads going. But in this fight, I really do like him to just get his reads going. And, you know, Figueiredo, he's been dropped by jabs before. You know, obviously at flyweight his durability is lacking a little bit because of the big weight cut. But I reckon in this fight, you got to imagine that, you know, Peter Yan's jab will land quite efficiently. And this might be a hot take, but I think Peter Yan's got more powerful than Brandon Moreno. I could be wrong, you never know. You also got to take into the weight cut. Like, the thing is, Figueiredo made me think Cody Garbrandt's just like... He made Cody Garbrandt look really good. And maybe Cody Garbrandt still is very good. But that fight was very competitive. Like, Garbrandt landed a lot of shots. He was beating him up a bit. And even against Marlon Vera, you know, he didn't look that great. He actually had to win because to get a knockdown, which actually, speaking of his power, yeah, he's definitely very powerful. I completely forgot that he did drop Chito Vera. Like, Chito Vera never gets dropped. He's never been dropped until Figueiredo. Well, he did get dropped by John Lineker, but they never counted it. So we'll just say officially, Davison Figueiredo was the first one to drop Marlon Vera. And he didn't really look that great. Like, he wasn't being able to take down Marlon Vera. And Chito Vera's not got the greatest takedown defense. Like Sandhagen was taking him down with ease. Like his takedown defense is a bit sus, and like Figueiredo really couldn't get him down. So I don't think he's going to be able to offensively wrestle Peter Yan here. Peter Yan's much better. He's younger as well. It's going to be factored in here. David Figueiredo is going to be 37 soon. 37 in those lower weight classes, like fucking alright, grandpa. Like, you know, give the shine to some other people, alright? Like, alright, Unk. Like, this is Unk status. Not even Unk, this is Grant status for Figueiredo. 30, almost 37 years age at bantamweight is insane. He's much older. You know, Peter Yan's still in his prime. He's not even 32 yet. He's still 31. I gotta go with Peter Yan here. Like, it just all favors him. The stylistic matchup. His style, like the boxing, we've seen Figueiredo struggle with the boxing of Brandon Moreno. I think Peter Yan's a better boxer. You know, he's got good cardio, he's got power. I see this sort of being like a bit of a bullying, to be honest, by Peter Yan. So I'm gonna go Peter Yan. You know, he can even offensively wrestle against Davidson Figueiredo all day, in my opinion. So I just think there's more ways to win for Peter Yan here. I could be completely wrong. Who knows? Maybe Figueiredo just immediately like rocks him and like latches up a guillotine. That's possible. You know, Figueiredo is still a very good fighter, but I'm going to go Peter Yan to get this one done. So let me know who you guys have for these fights. And yeah, like this is a good card. It's on a good time for the Australian audience. You know, it's a nice early start or late start, however you want to look at it. It's an afternoon card for us. So I'm very excited. I'm keen for this. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like this video, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. You know, these prediction videos getting longer and longer. You know, these cards, they're actually starting to get like motivating. Like I'm watching, I'm like, damn. This is a nice little tasty card. But this is a really good card, so I'm pretty excited for it. But yeah, let me know who you guys have. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.